Hello, guys.
Hello, Carol.
Hey,
Hello,
Hello,
Carlos.
Carlos.
what's up?
Hey.
Hey, Shad.
Oh,
How are
Carlos.
you?
Hello,
Hello.
Shahuda.
Hi. Hi.
شهد لماذا تكحين؟
مدخوات ما غلطت اتوقع.
والله تقول مش تكليني.
No, no. استغفر. How's everyone doing?
Yeah, really
Are you
good.
asking that to start a conversation, or do you really care about how well we're doing?
I care. Shut up.
Do you?
Muhammad,
Good evening, boys and girls.
she's genuinely better than you. You're definitely really unsensitive, man. Who asks that, man? Who asks that?
Mom, happy belated birthday.
Thank
Oh
you.
yeah,
Happy
birthday
birthday.
a couple of days ago. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Thank
Happy
you so
birthday.
much.
Well, though it appears that
Thank,
we're late, but happy birthday, man.
Yeah.
thank you so
Oh,
much. It's okay.
Moment, was yesterday or today your birthday?
Yesterday. Yeah.
Oh, happy belated birthday.
Thank you. That's so sweet.
Of course, of course. Can I ask how old you turned?
Yeah, 24.
24. Oh, okay. Got to an even
Interesting.
welcome. Good morning, everyone. Good evening. Good
Hello,
afternoon.
Good
Delali.
morning,
For
Dolly.
some reason, I always thought Moment was like the same age as me. I don't know why.
How old are you,
How old
Shahad?
are you?
I'm 20.
I
Yeah.
look younger, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I'm the oldest one here.
Hello. Morning, guys. Evening.
Hello,
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Emma.
Hello.
Tachilovia.
Hello, Emma.
How was your birthday, Moment?
Nothing much. Just people sending some birthday wishes. Yeah.
By the way, happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate
You
that.
also facilitated a dialogue, I know.
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
Was it like where was it on the spectrum?
Um, It was definitely better than my first one, but I had some issues with my laptop. But yeah, like when I finished, like I felt like I've done something good. Yeah, I felt good about myself.
To hear it. What did I miss? What did I walk into? I came. You were in the middle of a conversation when I came. Talking about
You're
age.
talking about age. Yeah.
Yeah. Age. Continuing the conversation from office hours, I think that was happening.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Felix.
Good morning.
Hello, Felix.
I'm noticing like a red theme going on today. Like there are like hints of red on everyone's screen. It's kind of pretty.
Last Monday was like black theme. Now it's red. So
Yeah, black. Right. For the next week, let's wear blue.
I'm down.
I guess
I'll
I'm
start.
1 week early. Remind us on the chat, and then I'll do it.
No, we're just like we're the trendsetters, Mohammed. We're bringing on the next week, on the theme of next week.
Just let me know prior to that.
not even though I'm wearing gray.
We got we were asking our other section how they decide what they're gonna wear every day, like in the morning. So does anyone want to answer? How do you decide what you want to wear in the morning? Like what clothes to put on? It
I'm wearing what I'm comfortable with.
has to be comfortable.
Yeah.
No more than 2 colors per outfit for me. Otherwise, it would be too much of an eyesore, in my opinion. You don't like to be colorful? Oh, I like to be colorful, but not too much.
I remember every day when I go to university, I'll be late because I'm really nervous about choosing clothes in the morning.
I just pick whatever's in front of me. That looks comfy.
I want to know about like your masks though. Like, do any of you make an effort to match your masks to your outfit? Because some people I've seen really do that. No, no stylish,
For me, no.
no stylish pandemic people here. Okay.
So long it can keep me safe, I'm happy about that.
I'm always wearing this.
I don't know if Emma already asked you. Where do you guys get your masks from? Like, where do you find them around your town?
I wear the
For me, I will buy in the pharmacy.
Maya, what were you gonna say?
I wear the one that like Penn State gave us.
I have the two Penn State ones, and then I also have a couple that a friend donated to me.
Where do you guys get the Penn State ones?
I went to go pay rent, and they were like, "Oh, you live here," and they just gave me like masks.
Cool.
What are they look like, the Penn State masks? Are they regular or are they different from the regular ones? Mm, it looks really chic
Mine
and
looks
good.
Oh, okay.
Penn
I didn't
State.
even see you holding it up. It's very minimalist. With that being said, we're gonna transition right into class. So welcome everyone. Happy Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. Oh, feels like it. Feels like we're beyond it for me. So I'm really excited to jump into this activity with you because it's honestly a classic. So the goal really of our whole class today is to understand, just understand a little bit better, not practice as much, but just like understand the unique methodology of what we do in conversation. Because I don't know if we've said this to your section before, but the specific way that we do dialogue is pretty unique to this organization. So, and when I say pretty, I mean it is unique. So earlier this week, we practiced building rapport and gathering sociological factors. Doing great. I really hope you've been applying that into your dialogue. And, you know, we keep talking about the who, and it's like this thing where you've probably never done that before you got to this class, right? Like you've never, like, before you started talking about a topic, just started inquiring about like what is your background, what are these external sociological factors. It's like kind of new, and maybe you're not fully convinced as to why this part of the dialogue is actually necessary. So we're going to actually dive into an activity that's going to illustrate why this part of the dialogue is as important as we believe it is. So as we do this activity, we just want to make sure that you know we're going to put some statements out there. They're going to be statements that are definitely contentious, and we want to make sure that, as always, the statements that we put out there don't reflect the beliefs of don't necessarily reflect the beliefs of us or the conversation at large. It's something that, or world and conversation at large. The statements that we're using for the sake of this activity. So with that being said, let's go ahead and, do you remember when we did the fishbowl and we had about like half of you on camera, half off camera? We're gonna do that again. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell certain people, I'm turn their camera off. So let's see. We'll have Esra, turn your camera. If I say your name, you'll turn your camera off, and then you'll come on for the second round. Esra, Maddie, Felix, Karwan, Who else do we need? Are you, Tulovia and Delali, are you participating in this activity? Yes? Yeah, you do? Okay, great. So then Delali can go off for this round.
عايشان بامبلوي بموظفي
Okay, that looks
همبرجر
pretty
ياكل
even to me. All right, sounds good. All right, so in this conversation, it's going to be a dialogue, but it's not going to be quite the kind of dialogue that we normally have. So what I want you to do if you're engaging in the conversation is just engage, but don't ask questions to each other. Like, don't be your normal curious selves. Just engage and respond.
You didn't read my name. Should I turn my camera on? I'm Razer.
You're muted.
Okay, actually, yeah, you can turn... Wait, Aisha, are you on or off right now? Raza, you stay on. Aisha, you can stay off. Okay. I'm just doing with like truly top 2 rows are on, bottom 2 rows are off. Like, that's how we're going with this activity. So your job as participants is just to kind of engage in the conversation, but don't ask questions. You know, just engage. Okay. I will facilitate. And the rest of the group should just be watching what happens, making observations, and be ready to share when we come back, because it'll be your turn next round. So I'll just give a statement, and you just talk about it. So the statement is, the U.S. military should be respected. Carlos, what's your take?
Yeah, I agree with that. For sure, for sure. They should really be respected.
I guess I agree as well, just because my family is in the military.
Sylvia, do you agree?
No.
Anyone else?
This is kind of hard to like give thoughts on because it's the U.S. military and we don't know how's that for everyone on like in the U.S. But I guess if we're just talking about militaries in general, I mean, yes, because they have a duty which is protecting the country. So I'm like, yeah, of course I'm gonna respect them.
والله يسكت لي
So do you disagree or agree?
بس مشهور
I agree. I agree.
For me personally, yes, but I think it really depends on circumstance, like where you're from, who you know.
Also, like, I think that I don't know, to be honest, much about this military, but like they should be respected, of course, but like to some extent. Like they shouldn't be respected for like everything they do. Like if they violate a law or something, they shouldn't be respected anymore.
I agree with Roman.
The statement made me think about, like, if the military is a part of a country or a nation, so it has to be respected. Like, what the statement made me think about. So, I'm not really certain that I agree or disagree.
If you had to choose one, would you say
I had to choose one? I have to choose one. I guess I agree then.
Victor, agree, disagree? What's your opinion?
So just going off by like spending, I know that the U.S. military has the largest spending than like any other military in the world, like more than the top 5 combined. So that makes me initially want to respect it, but it's not as much respect as it is fear. And when you take into consideration like the international politics and how the U.S. military has been involved in, putting forward imperialistic American agendas and terrorizing other countries and seizing, oil control, and, just looking at like the example of Brazil, the U.S. military helped back up the military dictatorship of 1964. So I'm very much for the concept of if you want to be respected, you should respect others. And I don't think the U.S. military has been very respectful of other governments. So I disagree. I think, sorry, I just spoke up.
Yeah,
I think it should be feared, not respected.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I agree with you, Victor. Like, I wouldn't respect them like for like invading Iraq, for example.
So in this conversation, who agrees with each other and who disagrees with each other? Like, saying names.
Moment, Victor and I agree with each other, and we're right. And Shahad, Muhammad, Carlos, Jacob, and Maya agree with each other.
I
I
also
don't know
agree.
what Razar thinks.
Oh, Razar.
I also agree with Victor.
So, wait, which side are you on?
I think they shouldn't be respected, like Victor said about invading other countries.
Okay, we're gonna pause. All right, everyone can come back on screen. All right. For people in the outside circle, what were you observing?
That was a fun conversation.
It was a fun conversation.
What was fun about it?
I love the facts that Victor brought up.
So you like that Victor brought in like facts to the conversation, and that made it fun.
Yeah, because usually when people talk about the U.S. military, they don't know what like they have done around the world usually. So it's pretty interesting to like bring in different like perspectives from different parts.
Okay, what were some other observations that you made? What about observations about how people were communicating with each other?
Sorry, Emma, can I come back after 2 minutes? I just cut my hand and it's full of blood. Okay.
Aishan, what did you say?
I just cut my hand,
Yeah.
so it's full of blood. Yeah, I will come
Yeah,
back
please
after
feel
2
free to
minutes.
go up.
Yeah,
Please feel
take a
free to go
breath.
off screen and just take care of that.
Maddie, what did you notice? Like, what did you observe?
I feel like everyone was like pretty respectful and like civil. Like usually when there's like, I guess like in my experience, like if there's discussions of like the military, it gets like very like, I guess like it can be like hostile and like there's like a tension. But like I feel like here it wasn't really like that. Everyone was just kind of like, I guess, respectful and like trying to like see what the other person would say. I guess.
Maya, did you think that everyone was respectful?
I mean, yeah, I think everyone's entitled to their own opinion about it. It's like my brother's deployed right now in Iraq. So like when Momin specifically said like, oh, when they go invade Iraq, I was like, but yeah, I see like where they're coming from, and yeah, that's about it. Like I think it was pretty respectful the way it was said.
All right, let's move on to round 2. So if you were camera off this time, you are now camera on, and then if you switch it up.
Sorry, Emma,
Wait, no,
but
no, no, no. So if
I
you,
can.
oh,
Hello, Emma.
yeah,
I cannot open my camera because I'm facing a really bad internet connection. But it's okay.
okay, all
Whenever
right,
you need me, I'll be available. But I cannot open my camera.
sure. Just remember to then just jump in because in case just jump into the conversation then.
Okay. Yeah.
Wait, who else? Who else was there anyone else who was off screen, or did I just do a huge group last time? Okay.
No,
Then
I said,
Esra.
yeah, I was saying it was like off.
Okay, Esra. Great. And then we'll just have more people come on. So, Jacob, you can come on. Let's do. Can you come on again, Shahid, actually? And why don't we do Felix, you're already on. Okay, and Razar one more time. All right. So I'm gonna put another statement in the room, and then you'll talk about it. And I'm gonna be in here less, so just talk about it. So COVID-19 is necessary to curb the world's population.
COVID-19 is necessary for what? Sorry?
COVID-19 is necessary to curb the world's population. It's the statement.
Said curb.
Could you send it in the chat, please?
But as in like decrease, right?
Sorry, Emma. Am I in the participants group or the off camera? The off.
You're in the group, Karwan. So yeah, you can participate.
Without me, I'm back.
All right, Aisha, you're in here too. Welcome.
Oh.
The statement is in the chat.
No one's gone, so I guess to start. No, go on, Rob.
Actually, I have thought about that, and I think a disease must be necessary to curb the world's population, because I have read that statement in Google or a TV show. I don't remember actually, that the Earth cannot hold more than 3 billion population or 4 billion population. We actually right now we have about 8 billion population. So we need a disease to curb the world's population to less than 4 billion population. So I think it is necessary.
I know this is gonna sound so inhuman, but like I think yes, it is necessary because the Earth is overpopulated, and I remember like 2 or 3 years ago I was reading this book, Inferno by Dan Brown. It's a novel, but they were talking about like how like a disease or creating a disease so they could cut the world population in half because. And then I researched it, and yes, like every year or every few years, like it doubles the population, and the Earth can't really hold that many people. So like, this is really bad. But yeah, I think like COVID was kind of necessary to give the Earth a breather, If that makes sense.
So my camera is off and I'm using my phone, so I can't see all the faces. May I go?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I kind of agree and disagree with some opinions regarding that statement. It is true that Earth cannot hold more than, I don't know the exact scientific number that Earth can hold and retain human populations, but you have to think about it like these diseases, these things are kind of are remedies Earth trying to like prevent the overpopulation. It is kind of insensitive for me to say that, but if you can think about it like that, like think of Earth as a entity, as a human being, and humans as a let me say it again. It may look like literally really insensitive, but humans are like a cancer cell. They're trying to live their lives and multiply on that entity without without hold any regard for the well-being of that thing that we live on. And no, I don't agree with like COVID would be a COVID would be a necessary to curb the world's population, but it might be good to take some precautions like what most of Eastern countries did. Like let's take China for as
Everyone,
a yeah.
thanks for that. Does anyone else have an opinion on this?
Actually, I'm a little bit nervous about agree with it or disagree because when I'm in hospital, I see when people they die with a disease that make me feel sad. But in the same time, disease is very good to uh, people to pay attention more. And at the same time, if you see the environment when we are in the quarantine time, they clean it almost. I saw in the internet every day they said the environment step by step they will clear and clear more.
I agree with Aisha. The disease, it was very big taste for the world. In Iraq, for example, the people, they not give attention more like sometimes in the another cities, they was very organizing the population. But in Iraq, it was no disease, no like this. It is just politically, I don't know, like this. So the people, they was not very clear with the disease.
Lolly, what's your opinion? I'm having a hard time knowing where I sit with this because it does seem like it's like the response of the earth to be like, we're going to try to write what's going on. And I don't know, I do think of the earth as it is a living organism. And so like if humans are like a disease, the virus would be a way to be like try to control us. But then there's also a part of me that's like, nah, not really. Like it's just something that happened. To say that it's to control anything. It was just part of being on Earth and the rest of us now.
I mean, the world is overpopulated. already today, the amount of people that were born is double to people that passed away. So 120,000 people were born today and 50,000 people passed away. So with that in mind, it just sounds like we're going to continue to increase in population. I also don't know if COVID actually had an impact because the amount of people actually passed away compared to the 7.8 billion people in the world is pretty significant.
Maddie, what do you think?
Like I guess I understand it from like scientific standpoint where like when a population is too large, like disease can be like I guess seen as like a benefit to like curb overpopulation and like stabilize it. But like I don't know, I don't really like see like I guess humans being like overpopulated since like I know we have like enough resources to like sustain everyone. It's just like they're not properly like, allocated or used. So then there's issues with that. So I think if like I guess if those were more like properly allocated, maybe like we wouldn't see like we wouldn't hear the like 7.8 billion and be like, oh okay, there's too many people. Like maybe we'd have a different perspective, I guess.
What you, Felix?
I don't know. I don't think maybe necessary for like the world's population. Maybe just to give Earth a breath. I personally don't really see the statement of like Earth being overpopulated as something like bad necessarily. I don't think it's overpopulated because Earth is a pretty big place. I just think people's greed doesn't allow like countries to see that we should like use what we have like more properly. I don't know if that makes sense. Like I don't know, resources like there's like people dying from like hunger, like we don't care about the environment. So like if we probably cared about those things, wouldn't be in such a bad place. So I don't think people are looking at those things and instead they're I don't know, looking at other people. I don't know if that even makes sense.
Reza, did you say something? Oh, you. Oh, okay. Go ahead. Go. Oh, you were the first. Were you the first person to say something?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to add anything? Can you change it all? Okay. How about you, Shahad?
What both Maddie and Felix said was very interesting because, yeah, I think the resources are not used properly, like Maddie said. That's why I think I see the world as overpopulated. And then Felix said something very interesting that, yeah, we're not looking at the environment, we're not looking at hunger issues, we're just focusing on other people. It's like very eye-opening in a way because that's true. And if we look at like past reports of the past 6-7 months, we can see that the environment has gotten better significantly. Okay, I can't say the word. I can't. It's gotten better. Yeah. So I don't know. It's very interesting what Felix said.
All right, we're gonna pause, and everyone can come back on screen. Thank you for engaging in this activity. All right. Come back. We want to see your faces.
All right, let's talk about what just happened. What do you notice about that dialogue?
Can I jump in?
Please.
So I noticed two things. One of them is that the statement has been like a window for division rather than being like a window for like discovery. So you see like people our participants used the statement for being like divided. Shahad, Madi, Felix were grouping into each other, and the rest were agreeing with each other. And also, like, we don't know what their perspectives are based on because we don't have a whole part, so we don't have background information about the participants.
Yeah. So, not knowing like where their perspectives are coming from, how did that change the way that you participated, the way that you listened?
Is this for me?
For everyone.
When I was listening, I was actually kind of surprised at the answers because I feel like my answer would have been a little different from everyone. So I feel like it made me pay attention more to what everyone else was saying because I knew it wasn't my dialogue to jump into. So it almost made me listen more in depth. But I think as a group, everyone, like last time, was really respectful in the way they answered, and no one like tried to cause conflict by their opinions, which is really nice because I know when people are defending their opinions, a lot of times, like, you will never switch your sides on your opinion. Like, your opinion will forever be your opinion. So, yeah.
Yeah, what were some of the like types of answers that you heard or types of responses?
To me, it sounded so much like it was only black and white. There's no gray area in between them.
Yeah, as a participant, I was just like, I don't really know if I disagree or if I agree, but I felt like even though no one said I had to choose a side, I felt like I had to choose a side.
Actually, for the depth of this subject, it is kind of hard to pick a side. It was kind of hard for me to participate in the first.
What made it difficult for you to participate on?
Well, because the subject is really big and you cannot like define it, say it, or handle it, if I may say, just by 2 or 3 sentences.
So,
It's really big. Like,
do you think
yeah.
that you would have needed to participate better?
Can you repeat that, please?
Do you think that you would have needed to participate better?
Actually, as Mom said, the who part seems really necessary to me in order to say my opinion in the what part that we just covered. Because first of all, I was, I don't know, second or third participant who gave my opinion, and there were no other people before me who like gave their opinion regarding this thing. And if I was participating in a dialogue and I didn't hear like the other participants' background, it was like, as Muhammad said, it was kind of like black and white. You didn't have any information regarding like the gray area things for me to express my I need to say to that certain thing fully.
Thanks, Karwan. What about some of the participants from the first dialogue? Let's hear some more about that experience. I'm especially wondering, like, Victor, Felix.
I definitely miss having the who question because the who question provides such important context about the other participant backgrounds, and it usually puts me at ease.
Victor, what's something that you like wish you had known about a participant in your dialogue?
I wish I would have known, like, if everybody like was American and was raised here, or like, I already know where everybody is from. But if it was like a total dialogue and I didn't know, like, oh, there are like other international people here who can kind of like back me up on the points that I'm bringing, that would have made me feel intimidated about bringing up my perspective. Because I knew, that there were international students in the dialogue, then I felt a little bit more at ease to then bring up my perspective.
Shahad, I'm actually wondering for you, because at first you were like, I agree, and then you changed it a little bit. So what changed for you?
I don't think it necessarily changed, but like I see like where they were coming from. Like yeah, they brought up both Felix and Matt brought up very good points. So I'm like, yeah, that's true, but like I'm still gonna stick to my opinion.
It's funny because I think you said it and Maya has also said it, of just like, I see where they're coming from. And I'm like, how did you know where they were coming from?
I think there's no way to like exactly know where someone's coming from. However, like when Momin said like, oh, like you go and invade Iraq, like no, I totally see that, but I'm not gonna be like, oh, because of that they shouldn't be like respected, because I do have family who's like served in all these countries. So like yeah, it's not the most respectful thing to go invade a country, but I'm also not gonna like talk down on my brother who's like serving our country. So it's like I do see where you're coming from, but yeah.
Actually, I have a question for Maya, that is okay. So we're kind of familiar with the situation in Iraq and US and all these kind of things. So, and America, like it is a country controlled by two major parties, which is Democrats and Republicans. So it is not.
Wait, hold on, Parwan.
Yeah.
Is this in relation to like talking about what happened, or are you responding to Maya's set?
Actually, I can say both, but if you just lend me a minute, I can
Okay.
express my.
I don't want
my
us to start
question.
another dialogue. I just want to make sure that we're talking about like what happened in the dialogues that we already had.
Okay. So may I continue with that or just leave it?
Yeah, if it's about what happened. Yep.
Actually, it is neither with that and with that. It's kind of a question and its own standing.
Okay. Maybe we'll have time at the end. If not, office hours.
Okay. I'm done with. You had me at office hours.
Okay.
Olivia,
right.
I want to ask one thing. If you don't mind, like I just want to ask Maya, like she didn't know where I come from. Like if I was a regular participant and she didn't know that I was coming from Iraq, would that make a difference? Like would like my sociological factors make a difference for her, like the way she think of me?
I don't think I want to like judge someone based on like where they're from, but specifically towards like the military. I just know it is such a touchy subject for people who do in the countries where Americans get deployed to all the time. So it's like I would never be like, oh, he's from Iraq, I don't want to share my opinion on this, but I do understand that it is like a sensitive thing. Like, I would never come in here like, oh, like they're doing all this, like that's just so insensitive and like inhumane almost. But it's like I'll like forever like, because I don't have like a right to say I've never been to Iraq. Like all I hear about Iraq is what my brother tells me about Iraq. So sure I don't say the wrong thing because I don't want to be insensitive.
Totally. Thank you.
Jacob, what about for you? What was going on in, when you were participating?
When I was participating or observing? Because personally, I was much more intrigued in the conversation that I was observing.
What was intriguing?
I just think like I was just honestly, I forget who said it. I think it was Maya who said that like she was very surprised with some of the answers to the COVID curbing our world's population statement. And I was also very intrigued and with a lot of the answers, like I would have said something completely different. So like when all these people came out agreeing with the statement, just I guess it made me want to listen to their perspectives that much more because mine was so radically different.
All right. I am going to hand it over to Delali now.
Yes. So that was an activity, and we're gonna keep it going. We're gonna do another activity. In this moment, I'm going to send out DMs directly to all of you. And actually, Sheffy, as I'm doing that, would you mind just explaining a little bit about what we're gonna do?
Yep. So right now you're going to be receiving a photo in a DM on Slack. All right. So everyone will get their own photo. Your goal together as a class is to figure out what the bigger picture is without naming what you have. So for example, if I had a photo of a puppy, I couldn't say, I have a puppy. I have to describe. I would say things like, well, my picture has 4 legs, it has 2 ears, the color is white. I would be describing, like painting a picture. So you can only describe it. You cannot use nouns for any part of the photo. You may use adjectives, like descriptive words to describe what you're seeing, the colors you're seeing, shapes you're seeing. And then together as a class, you have to figure out the bigger picture. And this actually is going to be not held a lot. Like this is where you all kind of talk. I'll hold it if it needs to be held. But right now, you're just going to start talking and sharing what you have.
Some of the colors in my picture are green, brown, kind of like rose, like red, maybe underwater.
My picture has a lot of orange and like red and hints of green in the background. Definitely some aquatics going on in my picture.
Okay, just real quick, some of you are DMing me and asking me what your picture is. It may be a little hard to see what it is, but try zooming in on the picture. If it is a little blurry, that is okay. Just try and describe what you visually are seeing. Okay. Keep going.
My picture, I'm seeing a lot of, it's pinkish red kind of. Looks like there's some texture to it, almost like it would be underwater.
I'm seeing there's a lot of green and a hint of blue on the upper right corner. And then on the upper left corner, there's like an oval shape that's kind of orange. Again, like it has aquatic feels like everyone said, but yeah.
Are we supposed to be guessing each other or just saying it?
For me, I see some shapes, not symmetrical, round shapes. The colors in the picture are blue, green, like hints blue and green, mostly some orange colors and black, kind of oceanic. That's all what I see.
For me, I would say a big part of it's like between yellow and gold, some of black. I guess it's a fish. I don't know, but I think it's in the deep of the ocean.
For me, I actually don't know what is that, but the colors are black, magenta, purple, kind of red, and little two shiny bright stars. It's white. I don't know. It looks weird.
Picture has a lot of blue color, and like it's underwater, and there's like a bunch of creatures with different sizes.
For my photo, it is full of orange red color, but have a pendants a lot tall and some blue, but I didn't guess what is this. Even I don't know.
The picture I have looks like something you'd find underwater. The texture is prickly, I assume. The colors I have are light orange, a little bit of black, a little bit of green, dark green, and two bits of white.
For my picture, about I guess like one half is a like pinkish red orange mass that has some texture to it that's kind of like maybe like a star or something. I can't really tell. And then like the bottom left corner has something that's like off white and like a brownish green, and it has the like white part is definitely what's like sticking out, I guess you could say, or like popping out more. And then there's like a green bit, and then like a, I guess you could say like lighter orange, definitely a fish, and then there's like blue for the other half. So it's definitely underwater.
Wait one
and it's
second. Try not using nouns.
Okay.
But you're all doing great. Who hasn't shared yet? Who hasn't shared or described their photo yet? All right, can you give us what you?
I got it's a full blue, the type of aquatic. And okay, real quick, it almost feels like we're doing a puzzle. Like we all have pieces of the same thing, but it seems cool.
Okay. So at this point, what is the bigger picture? Because you each have a piece of the picture. So can you ask each other more questions based on what you shared, or try to?
Does anyone think they have like a vital piece of the picture? Like maybe not such background stuff, but like a vital piece?
I feel like for mine, like when I saw it, like I instantly like had an idea of what it was, maybe. So maybe like mine, maybe. But I think it's just because I see like a lot of different things at once. It's not like mostly just one type of thing.
I think that's important, Maddie, because your piece is kind of like the starting piece, and you can link so many to that. So many things.
Well, for me, I think of this activity as a blind scholar activity when we did it back.
Hold on. Don't try to make sense of it. You're moving too fast. Don't try to make sense of it. Just be in the activity. Try to figure out the picture.
Actually, I want to hear Felix because I think we didn't get his piece.
Go on.
Go on, Felix.
Oh, mine. I feel like it has a main character just because certain things separated from it.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, you guys have 1 minute to figure out what is the big picture. Do you think you can do it based on the information each of you share? And again, this activity can go on for a long time, but with limited time, we're just going to ask you to, anybody feel like they have the whole picture.
I believe it must be a plant underwater. I don't know. That's what I'm guessing.
Because
Yeah, I
of my
also think like that. Oh, go ahead, Maya.
Oh, I was just gonna say, when I asked the question if anyone has like main piece, I think it's because I have a main piece, and so because of the picture I have, I feel like I have a total image. And going back, so anybody else can maybe get what I'm saying, there was a lot of talk about like oval orangeness in a picture, and mine is full of it. And after hearing everyone else saying, I feel like that's what the overall picture is, and they're like supporting images.
Oh, okay. So what would you name it? What do you think the picture is a picture of?
I think it's a school of fish, just underwater, passing some coral.
All right. So do you want to do that?
Photo, but we sharing everyone some yes, the same photo but in different angle. So we will collect the angles. It's a pair one photo. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm.
Yeah. Delali, so Delali's gonna send you the photo.
Okay.
In your Slack channel. Do you see it? So everyone had a piece of this photo. Was this what you were imagining at all as people were describing the photo?
Yep.
Who had a okay. There's some people who are going.
Yeah.
There's some people who are going to say yes because they had the main part of the photo, the red and the fish. There's some who can say that actually this is not what I would have exactly imagined. Based on what
I had no idea what the bigger picture was, to be honest. I just saw blue color, and I thought like talking about orange and red. I just like had no idea what they were talking about.
Actually, though my angle of my picture was really small, but I had an idea. I thought it was like a swarm of clownfish, swimming in a coral reef with some sponges and sea sponges and things like that background.
Yeah. All right. So in Carvant, we're already talking. You can transition us because you already brought it up. So in your Slack channel, I just sent another link. Can everybody please open that? I could screen share, but I'd rather see your faces as we discuss this. So if you open it, and okay, so right now, imagine this class all being puzzle pieces. So we did the first activity, and then we debriefed it. Then we did this photo. Now so imagine that we're also giving you small pieces to show you a bigger picture at the class, all right? That's what everything has been. So what that means is don't forget about the first activity we did, 2 statements that you guys talked about and how you talked about that. Don't forget the debrief that you did with Chovia. Don't forget the photo activity that we just did. And now let's add this. Like it's like adding another picture to the class. All right? What do you see here?
I think actually having Sam's class, we would talk about this like last semester. And it basically goes to show that like where different people have their viewpoints from, like shows them their own bigger picture. And sometimes you need communication and like a team to get like the entire picture. So like you might solely think that your side or your image is so true until proven wrong by the other person, because like from the front, like the guy's like, oh, it's just a spear because that's all he can see, whereas from the back they're like, it's a rope because that's all they can see. But like from the outside, we could see that it's a whole like elephant. So it's like you think you're so stuck on your viewpoint, you need to listen to other people to get like a more holistic viewpoint.
Yeah, and one thing, so the word stuck is prove wrong. So what this concept or this picture also shows is that, in fact, it's no one can be proven wrong, in fact, right? Because it's like you're adding to the pictures. It's like we're always adding to see the whole truth. So if the coral reef, the picture that you had, or this elephant, if that represented the truth about something, it's just adding all the different angles so that we can imagine what the bigger picture might even be. And what was interesting was it feel like there were people that had such little information about the picture that they might never imagine the bigger picture. So they need all the other descriptive ideas and angles to even imagine what the truth might be of something. Other people, what do you see here? What does this remind you? And use the entire class so far to reflect upon this picture.
I think I see some of point of views. Everyone he looking from a different view, and I remember the apple when you make the taste in the first semester. Do you remember? Everyone he talked about the coloring or the piece of the apple, but the final, it was at the end, it was we have maybe a different thing from different view.
If I could summarize this, I would say everybody is seeing the world from where they stand.
Thank you very much for summarizing, Moment.
That sounds a lot like one of the assumptions that we have at the center. What assumption is that?
No two people standing in the same place share the same point of view.
Mm-hmm. And there's another one. I guess there's more than one. What's another one that
No
we have?
one wrong in this picture, okay? Just this is the last one, sorry.
All right, who else? Jacob, what are you thinking about?
Kind of what already was summarized, just nobody has the same perspective based off their own specific experiences, previous circumstances, prior knowledge. So I think it's good that sharing all of our perspectives allows us to see the whole picture and not just your own part of the picture.
Yes.
I think.
Oh, go ahead, Chevy.
Go on.
So also there are some words that go along with this image that Chevy shared in your section channel, and they are each in his own opinion, exceeding, stiff, and strong, though each was partly in the right and all were in the wrong. So what does that mean? What do you hear in those words?
Can you repeat that, please, Lali?
Each in his own opinion, exceeding stiff and strong, though each was partly in the right and all were in the wrong.
Well, I think we have an advantage because we covered this part back in the prep course we took. As you said, let me just go to the chat. Each on his own opinion, exceeding stiff and strong. It means each person is exceedingly stiff and strong about his own opinions. Though each was partly in the right, all were in the wrong. Like, it is basically the same thing that we went on right now. We all had pieces of the bigger picture. We explained it, and we said what we thought, that our own perspective, and we were exceedingly strong about it. Though we were partly right, but we were all wrong because we didn't have the bigger picture.
One aspect of blind scholars is that they're scholars. So these are scholars, as in they're academics, like they have knowledge, like they're experts at some level in whatever area that they're in. And it think about your participants in your dialogue. Like they're in college, they're getting education, they have knowledge as well. So based on that, based on just like knowing that these are scholars, what does that make you think about?
Can you repeat the last thing?
All right, someone has their mic not on mute, and there's a lot of background noise. So knowing that these are scholars and they're unable to see correctly what even their pieces, like they're not even naming parts of the elephant, right? Like they're naming, what are they naming?
They're naming the things that they feel or touching.
Mm-hmm. What else?
Also, what they hearing.
What was that mention?
Hama said that what they feeling and touching, I think what they hearing from the other.
I'm definitely hearing things as they're yelling out loud.
Could maybe the prior knowledge that the scholar have affects their perspective? I don't know. It's just an opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. Somebody else build on that, because that's a good starting point.
Felix, you've been trying to.
I was gonna say that they don't know what they're saying, so they're trying to relate to things that they already do.
Yeah, exactly. Can somebody else build on that? Or give an example of how you've either seen it in your dialogues or even in the beginning of the class today?
You mean an example from like our dialogue or from something else?
Your dialogue in class today, this morning.
Well, for the U.S. military one, obviously, people living in the U.S. have a different experience than people living elsewhere, like the people in Iraq. So I think like that could be an example of people not knowing the whole story to it and just trying to go off what they know.
Mm-hmm. What else?
From the thing we did right now with the picture, with the whole, like, we're describing the thing that we see, but not necessarily right. We were assuming things and trying to work out the bigger picture together. So that was like also kind of an example to this.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it means all of us, we have an idea. If you collect the idea, we will make a clear picture or the right picture.
Mm-hmm. So when you're in your dialogues and you're at the what part of the dialogue, also, so think about the blind scholars when you're in there, because think about that these human beings are relating to a topic based on their understanding of the world. And they're connecting to things that they already know, like Felix was saying. So while they can be sharing things that they already know and they're relating to it, it doesn't mean that we're even talking about the truth. Like the blind scholars here, they're not addressing that it's an elephant. They haven't figured that out yet. right?
Can I say something?
Yeah.
What we were just saying kind of reminds me of like the blind scholars to me are like the facilitators, and the elephant is the person who's talking, right? Like the participant. So we don't know the true essence of the participant. Like we don't know they're an elephant, let's say. So we're just poking on the things that they're sharing or like the things that we're seeing. So the one in the back, he's saying it's a rope because that's what they see based on what the participant is sharing. If it makes sense.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly.
I think what we're
Victor.
looking at is like a really good example of ethnocentrism, like people kind of like at times thinking like their culture is and what they know is like the whole truth, and not like being able to realize that there are so many other perspectives from like other cultures and areas out there.
So, what we hope that you've kind of started to see from the activities we've done today, from the very beginning when we talked about a what without getting any who, to when we all put a picture together based on, our different perspectives. If you're talking about all ideas without any connection to where those ideas come from, you're actually just having a debate with each other. You're trying to see who's right and who's wrong, and not really understanding where the person is coming from.
Yeah, and if you remember at the beginning of the semester, we talked about how although feelings and internal things are important, there's a place for you to talk about those things. Does anyone remember where that place is? Where we talk about feelings?
Sociologist.
Not a sociologist.
I'm guessing with a therapist, psychiatrist.
Yes. So when we're talking about,
Sorry.
it's okay.
Actually, that was my thing, but the word slipped out of my tongue.
No worries. But when we're talking about an exchange of feelings, we're talking about therapy, support, working on our inner self. But as sociologists, we're trying to do something different. We're trying to exchange ideas and connect to people so that we can have a meaningful dialogue. What reflections do you have of that?
Sorry, Chilo, reflections of what you just said or about
Yeah. What
the
are some
session today?
takeaways, some thoughts that came to mind?
What came to my mind was that if we don't know where somebody is coming from, it would quickly turn into a debate, just like you guys said, instead of an exchange of thoughts.
I would say that like the job that sociologists do is like putting the pieces of the puzzle together, and how we were like describing it with what we're saying and using adjectives. That's how it worked. If instead we were describing how we felt about our piece of the puzzle and saying like, I think it's ugly. Oh, I think it's very pretty. I like it a lot. I hate it. That wouldn't be as helpful in getting everybody to see the whole picture together. So it kind of serves to me as a testament that we need to be like objective in like saying ideas and focusing in sociological instead of internal factors.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's so much to digest, by the way.
Can you give us two things that you're thinking about?
I don't know, like when Shefi was saying that, like even though everybody is describing something different, but that's not helpful because they are not even talking about like an elephant. Like, so like what we should do to make that right, like to make it work and make them know that this is an elephant.
That's a good question. So if you think about the elephant elephant in the room being any social issue. Yeah, a lot of times it's easy to name that social issue. The thing is, what you want to make sure is that you're talking about it from as many different angles and perspectives as possible, because my understanding of the social issue is going to be very different than your understanding of the social issue moment, because we have just different lived experiences. Does that answer?
But the scholars were also giving their perspectives, but that didn't add up to what was going on, right?
Something that's helpful to remember that we as facilitators also don't know what the elephant is. We're also basically just of those people who are touching the elephant. So by continuing to remember to ask, like, what are other angles that we can look at this from? What are perspectives that exist about this topic that aren't already in this dialogue? Those kinds of tips that we practiced when we were practicing the what last week. You're basically taking the role of someone who's at least trying to see the elephant, even though we actually don't even know what it is either. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps to just keep seeking more angles about a topic. We do have a Taylor. She has arrived. Hi, Taylor.
Hello, Taylor. Good morning.
Morning. Actually, don't have much to say today. You guys are doing very well. I appreciate your consistency and showing up for your own dialogue, showing up for each other. If you haven't filled out for the Penn State students, if you haven't filled out the new availability chart that I sent out earlier this week, please do so. That would really help me out. It'll help you out. It'll help everyone out. It'll be great. Yeah, I actually don't have much to say today. I don't know. Keep killing it. Keep doing you. Keep being great. That's all I have for you all. Any questions?
I have a question for the students to ask you. What's a question you guys want to ask Taylor? What's a part of the bigger picture that she works on that you might not see? What would help you to see her position a little bit more?
She is basically.
No, ask her a question.
I guess. Words are not coming out of my mouth. I don't know. I've gone blank. I'll leave it to someone.
Ask Taylor a question. What would help you to see her position a little bit more, what she's holding?
Are you referring to the who question?
Yeah, anything. Just ask Taylor a question.
Taylor, what's your background?
Like racially, ethnically?
Whatever you want to say.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm Black.
Wait, hold up. I'm not asking that question. What do you want to know?
Just how she describes herself.
Okay.
Or what she's from.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a Black American woman. From Pittsburgh, PA. It's like 2.5 hours from State College. I don't know, it's kind of boring. Ethnically, I guess I'm some form of African somewhere down the line, and probably some other stuff because slavery. Who knows? And
Taylor, 1 second. Hold on. Somebody else asked her a question.
Taylor, what does a day-to-day working for World in Conversation look like for you?
What a good question.
It looks like a lot of meetings. It looks like a lot of scheduling for various teams and putting together tailored programs and FaceTiming Chalovia in between meetings and texting your trainers in between that. And it looks like answering any student concerns, whether it's about scheduling, grades, just like their time management, what it looks like for them to work with this class and their other classes. And it's a lot of data stuff.
So I have a question for Taylor.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it is. You can ask. It is 10:20, so whoever needs to go can go.
Actually, I'll ask her 2 questions and go. If it's still okay.
Can I go first?
Wait, yeah, let
I'll
Shahad
go ahead. Ladies first.
Let
Ladies first.
Shahad go first.
Ladies first.
Sorry to interrupt. It was a nice session. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Bye to everyone who's going. I'm actually curious. What was like? What is the reason that made you work with World in Conversation?
I went to Penn State and I studied supply chain management. And I never really liked my major, and I got to my junior year and I was like, wow, what am I doing? I gotta switch my major, but also like it's too late to switch my major, so that's a joke. And I had to participate in a dialogue for one of my business classes. And after that, I was like, oh, I like this place. I could see myself doing this for a while. So I became a foundational facilitator. Back then, we were TAs, but I took this class and then I moved to the advanced team. And yeah, I just stuck around because I really like the work. I believe in the vision and the mission. And so as long as they want, they've got.
Thank you for sharing.
Sorry, Tyler, you are comfortable with your work?
Yeah, I am. And I really love it. So.
Isn't it hard to you to schedule and all those people?
Actually, for me, no. I really love puzzles and Sudoku, and to me, it just looks like a really giant Sudoku board. And so it actually doesn't take me too long to do it. It can be frustrating when I make a schedule and there are mistakes, like if I mess up or if someone provides the wrong availability or something, and then switching things around can get kind of frustrating. But for the most part, I really don't mind it at all.
Where do you find yourself in, let's say, 5 years?
Practicing acupuncture.
All right,
What is
team.
that?
Now we're not her therapist. We're not asking her where she sees herself in 5 years. And class time is over, so we do have office hours. You can come back and ask us questions then. All right, bye everyone.
Well,
Bye-bye.
I didn't ask my question, but you guys have a good time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. See you in office hours.
Hey guys, my Zoom.
Okay.